I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm Apollo Justice, and I'm fine. Is Apollo okay? He's been muttering to himself all morning.
Trucy, come on.
He's been like that since yesterday. I guess the pressure of the today trial is getting to him.
Yeah, you think?
Poor Polly. He's really tearing himself up all over this. Get it together, Apollo. Yikes, Athena. When did you get here? Try to relax a little bit, will you? You're getting yourself way too worked up. Yeah, but I'm all right. I'm fine.
Are you fine though, Apollo?
You know, I did a little digging on this, Nayuta Sadmati guy.
Sadmati.
He's apparently not your run-of-the-mill prosecutor. Oh yeah? What did you find out? Well, they say he wields an incredible power. I figured. To accurately read a trial's karma and its ultimate fate.
Can't wait to turn that on its head. We're about to dunk on his karma.
What is that supposed to mean? I don't know the details, but apparently he can foresee how arguments will go and even lead his opposition. So the defense basically ends up going whatever direction he has on his head. Man, this isn't going to be a cakewalk if that's true. Emma did say she did talk to him for us. Here's hoping that went well. Probably not.
Yeah.
Yeah. In any case, it sounds like he's going to keep us on our toes.
I feel like Nayuta is going to have some kind of connection to Apollo. I don't know what it would be. Because, like, in that cutscene with Emma, like, he kind of was like, huh, when she mentioned Apollo's name. He kind of had a little bit of a reaction, just like, rather than just be like, Apollo Justice, don't know them. Like, he was just, like, acting as if he knew who Apollo was.
Like there was a case in the past that happened. That's why I know you're ready, when I know I can leave...
This is Phoenix, I think. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
That's why I know you're ready. Why I know I can leave Trucy and the office to you. I believe in you, Apollo. And we put the Furio outfit on him right.
Mr. Wright is putting his faith in me and his Yakuza wear. I can't let him down now.
I forgot we changed all their outfits.
I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. There he goes again. It's almost like he's chanting a prayer. I'm fine, I'm fine. I'm Apollo Justice and I'm fine.
Again, are you fine though?
If you say so, Apollo.
The trial will start momentarily. Is the defense ready?
Yes, we're fine! Trucy's fate and the fate of the agency rests on this trial. This is it, Justice. If there ever was a time to shine, it's now.
I wonder if courtroom number 4 is still messed up, if they ever fixed it.
They've had years, right? Maybe? Court is now in session for the trial of Trucy Wright. The defense is ready, Your Honor, in my school uniform. Oh, God. Oh, my God. And the prosecution? Prosecutor Sadmati?
1,000 pardons. It was rude of me to keep you waiting. I was praying for the victim.
Oh, praying. Yes, I see.
Because one simply prays like this.
You're a Kuranist monk, correct, Prosecutor?
Yes, that is correct. I am but a lowly monk from the kingdom of Kurain. I beg in advance for the forgiveness and kind patience of everyone here in the courtroom. I'm unfamiliar with the proceedings of this country and may find many blunders, and may make many blunders, but that is not an excuse, sir. Just because you don't know our ways doesn't mean we can just forgive your blunders. Ha ha.
He seems like such a gentle-mannered soul, doesn't he? I wonder if Emma had a chance to talk with him about Trucy. Now then, Professor Sadmati, Prosecutor Sadmati, your opening statement, if you would. Bleh.
Certainly.
I have my water here.
In the name of the Holy Mother, I will vow to guide the victim's soul to the land of eternal peace known as the Twilight Realm. Now, let the last rites of the victim begin.
Yuta Sadmati. He's really been making a name for himself, apparently, but... that nickname, Last Rites Prosecutor. I wonder how that will come into play today.
The incident took place in the middle of a spectacular magic show. The accused performed a magic trick in which he thrust a sword into a coffin. A coffin of which the body of the victim then spilled out, dead from a fatal stabbing. The victim's name was Man of Mystery, otherwise known as the Great Mr. Ruse.
Man of Mystery. Well, it's obviously mystery, but...
Man of Mystery.
Man of Mystery?
He's a man of mystery. Mystery! His blood was found on the sword that was used during the magic trick.
No cause of death? So that seems very non-specific.
Cause of death, shock as a result of being stabbed through the back with a sharp blade. The victim's real name was Man of Mystery.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. He didn't die from being stabbed through the back. He died from shock.
That is a weird wording.
So, interesting. Okay.
Well, I think they more mean like the internal hemorrhaging is what killed him.
Ooh. Approximately 10:30 a.m. What's the timeline for that too? Is that which trick is that?
That's the should be the second trick. Yeah, 10 minutes after. So he was killed during the trick.
Yeah.
Wait. It was kind of like early on in the trick too.
So he didn't die during the dragon thing where I thought it would happen. He died during the trick. Someone stabbed him in the back.
I guess that does make sense to a degree, because they can't kill him beforehand, because the time of death is before the trick. That completely throws it off, and it would clear Trucy immediately.
Yeah. Okay.
It is only natural for one to assume as such, Your Honor. However, it was no mere accident, but rather a homicide. The prosecution's position is thus, that is, this was a murder made to look like an accident.
Okay. I see, and you believe this crime was committed by the defendant?
After a thorough consideration of all possible scenarios, I unfortunately had no other choice but to conclude as such.
So he still doubts it. Interesting.
Yeah.
So that's how it's gonna be, huh?
Yeah, he didn't seem too confident. He was like, he's like, unfortunately, this is a conclusion I came to. Why are you saying that's unfortunate?
If he reads the karma, maybe he reads it one way but can't read something else. I guess Emma couldn't convince him after all. Very well, and now let us hear from the defense. Naturally, we maintain the defendant is innocent, Your Honor.
If the defense wouldn't mind. Could you please explain your reasoning?
My reasoning? Oh, well.
We don't have to do that. Your job is to prove her guilty. Obviously, we gotta say she's innocent. That's our job. You dumb prosecutor.
I would say that my main reason is because I believe in the defendant.
I see. So you find it difficult to come up with anything more concrete than that, do you?
Excuse me, Mr. Religious.
Excuse you. You're accusing her without concrete proof either, it seems. Because we could tell you were questioning it. Also, this song, it's kind of like,
I like it.
Nice and smooth. I don't know if this is his theme or this is just like the Logic theme where they're just explaining a case.
I think it's his theme. It's gotta be.
What a fine demonstration of that fact. You are indeed a lawyer of a putrid mind. Wow.
Putrid mind, huh? Prosecutor said naughty. Excuse me, but I don't.
Chakra!
I feel bad for the courtroom guy who has to record every word. If you don't mind my asking, Prosecutor, what was it they were just chatting?
A sutra of the Holy Mother that guides those of tainted soul toward enlightenment. It is a Kurinist incarnation to awaken the foolish of their fruitless slumber. Fitting for a lawyer who indulges in such fancy as insolent of the accused.
I see. So basically, you're asking the defense to get real.
Yeah, but, Judge, it's not our job to prove why we believe that she's innocent. It's the prosecutor's job to prove her guilty. And we can present evidence to counteract his claims, and he has to prove out. But this is Ace Attorney. We say whatever we want, and the prosecutor's like, nope, you're wrong. Goodbye. Your case is over. You have no evidence. Allow me these few words, defense. Okay, I think this is his theme.
Yeah.
This one's his theme. It's my duty as a monk to punish sinners and guide the victim's soul to the twilight realm. Should you show repentance and admit to the accused's guilt now, no harm will come to you. But, should you interfere with my sacred last rites for the victim, then I shall cast you down into the pit of hell along with Trucy Wright.
I am.
Hey, Niyuta. We are in Karine.
Now, just wait 1 minute here. Putrid pit of hell. Is that any way to address someone in the court of law? Prosecutor Sadmati, that may be the way you conduct trials in Karine. But I would appreciate it if you would refrain from such charged language here.
Your Honor. That was but a Kurinist sermon for those who have strayed from the path. Harsh words are often necessary to admonish contemptible deviants who cannot see reason.
Oh, I see. I didn't realize. I guess they really do hate defense attorneys in Karine, huh? Even still, that was way over the top as far as verbal abuse goes.
Yes. And I'm surprised the judge didn't like object to him threatening us either.
Like that could be contempt of court, right?
Mm-hmm. Because he was straight up threatening us there.
And the trial's only just begun. Well, it depends, I suppose. The way a prosecutor does things varies by country. Why don't we look at this cross-cultural exchange and try to be open-minded about it?
No. No. Because their ways are not very much different from our ways. So, no, we can't do that. We have to go by what the law here in America is. Got it?
What? Bailiff, please bring in the first witness.
Here comes Emma.
Yeah. You think it's the, I think it's...
Hey, she's got stackoos! I thought you dropped those, girl.
Uh-oh. I thought you said goodbye to the snackoos. Oh, this is amazing. Detective Sky, the courtroom is no place for gorging yourself. What's wrong with having a little snack? A girl's gotta eat, right? She, seems a little stressed out.
You think? Detective Sky, your testimony, please.
Yeah, about that. I just want to state for the record that I believe Trucy Wright is innocent.
Oh, uh-oh. This isn't going to end well for her, I think. I don't think Nayuta's going to let that one slide.
Yeah, but if she's an investigator, right, she's... I'm sorry?
Detective Sky, the path you seek to follow is misguided. Giving the wrongdoer false hope will only deepen her despair in the end. Prove she's a wrongdoer. Shut up.
But
Let it go and move on.
Let's go,
Acts which go against your duty will earn you divine punishment from the Holy Mother. And
Like
that is threatening the witness. How many times is he going to threaten people, do you think?
Once every dialogue. Choo. Fine, I don't know about the divine part, but I get the punishment bit loud and clear.
See? Threatening the witness.
I guess Emma got assigned tons of paperwork or something for sticking up for Trucy. She and Prosecutor Sabmati don't seem to get along very well, do they?
Shall we continue? The prosecution contends that the accused had a clear motive. The evidence, if you would, Detective Sky.
All right, please take a look at this poster. It's a Troop Grammary poster from 13 years ago.
Why is it canceled over him? When did that get put there?
Oh, is it me, or is it just a little different from the one in Mr. Wright's dressing room? No. This is a revised version of that poster. The one that says canceled under Mr. Reyes. That's right, Mr. Reyes left the troop after the first version of the poster was printed. Take a look at Mr. Reyes' right forearm near his elbow. See the big scar there? I was wondering about that. He apparently got it when he made a mistake while practicing a magic trick. Ouch, that's quite a scar. Because of the accident, Magnus Physique Grammari concluded Mr. Reyes was too unskilled. Fair enough. Just before the show was open, Magnus Physique announced Mr. Reyes wouldn't be appearing. But in defiance of Magnify's decision, Mr. Reyes tried to go on stage anyway. This in turn caused Magnify to oust Mr. Reyes from the troupe on the spot. He kicked Mr. Reyes out. That seems rather extreme. Did he really have to go that far?
When it comes to magic, Troupe Grammari was so passionate. Or should I say, extreme about it. It caused problems for them from time to time.
Yes, they even caused this court a mountain of trouble with their extreme antics.
Yep.
They're not wrong.
And now, the troupe's successor has committed a murder. It seems the troupe's rare talent were inhibited by the right person after all. Inherited. A putrid talent for criminality.
And he likes the word putrid a lot. You said another extreme yourself, Prosecutor.
Criminals with impure souls do not deserve sympathy, Your Honor.
Ahem, as I was saying. After his expulsion, Mr. Reyes apparently went on to hold a grudge against the troupe.
He would tell those close to him, I will get my revenge on Troupe Grammari someday.
Revenge him? That certainly sounds antagonistic.
And then his chance for revenge finally came. If you would be so kind, Detective Sky.
I guess I don't have a choice, do I?
Oh, it's different.
Oh my god. The victim planned to get his revenge on the Troop Grammari during Trushi's magic show. Mr. Reyes was going to first steal the Grammari notebook from the defendant, which he almost did. He then intended to reveal the secrets behind their magic tricks during the show. That was the victim's plan for revenge. And while he did in fact steal the notebook, the defendant murdered him before he had a chance to reveal the secrets.
He stole it, but how was he going to get into it?
Yeah, it was locked.
By the time the accused had discovered the notebook theft, it was too late. Her only option was to kill Mr. Reyes and make it look like an accident.
Objection!
That's nothing but conjecture.
Objection!
Objection! The victim's assistant, Bonnie DeFemme, gave the police a statement.
Of course she would.
She testified that just before the start of the show, Mr. Reyes said, "I'm going to reveal all of Troop Grammari's secrets on stage today."
What? Well, that isn't exactly a great starting point for the rebuttal, is it? You're telling me.
Allow me to give you one piece of advice, defense.
Oh, and what's that?
Where did butterfly come from? Let it go and move on.
That's what Japanese people use for a fox. They play like the fox game.
Well, he has his turned in. He's not. It's not pointed out. Let it go and move on.
Excuse me.
Helping a sinner will only sully your own soul. One possessed of an unclean soul will burn in the flames of hell, and then be ever burned with the sin in their next life.
But I don't believe in that sort of thing. Besides, I have no intention of giving up.
Oh, Holy Mother, grant me the strength to deal with this putrid lawyer. All actions have consequences, and yours will be surely earned will surely earn you the honor of being a mere stink bug at best in your next life. Wow. Ooh, stinky.
A stink bug. Now then, Mr. Stinkbug, Mr. Justice, your cross-examination, please. Thanks, Judge.
Judge, you're gonna be a cockroach. Oh, we have badges now. We don't have an HP bar.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay, the victim planned to get revenge on Grammari. He's gonna first steal the Grammari notebook from the defendant. Intended to reveal secrets behind their magic tricks during the show. Well, he did in fact steal the notebook. But murder him before he had a chance to reveal the secrets.
Hold it!
I'm sorry, but what exactly is the basis for claiming it was a murder? Beats me? What? The basis is beats me? You'll have to ask Prosecutor Sad Matty over there because he hasn't told me his reasoning either. Munch.
Detective Sky. Your feeding of information to the defense has not gone unnoticed by my eyes. You're supposed to say this, Stephanie Yuta.
Dope.
The bad karma of acts which go against your duty will impinge upon you in your next life. But even before that, It may impinge upon your job in the form of transfer. You have no authority here.
Ah, please don't get me kicked out of the forensics unit.
You
Anything
have
but
no
that.
authority here in Utah. Dude, this guy's irritating.
Poor Emma, she's really been risking everything for us. Well, Prosecutor Sadmei, what are your grounds for claiming homicide?
It was a ludicrous tape of the understage passage.
Okay, the X.
I realized that it had been moved. It's moved?
From where?
Probably from the other ladder, but why would it be in the other ladder? Moved so that Mr. Reyes would climb into the downstage coffin by mistake.
So... What?
Mr. Reyes, who was watching in the understage passage, was supposed to have used the upstage ladder shown here on the left. What was his point in the trick? We never established that. Like, what purpose did he have in this second trick? He was to climb into the coffin that had been set up in the backstage area, after being turned into a stuffed dragon during Act 1. Mr. Reyes was supposed to come back to life and emerge from that coffin. But the luminous tape had been moved to mark the downstage ladder. So the victim climbed up into the coffin on the stage by itself, by mistake. The very same coffin the accused thrust her sword into.
And you have proof that it was my client who moved the tape?
But of course, Detective Sky.
Prince, isn't it? Oh, that's right!
She's probably the one that put it down, but like, also, Trucy shouldn't have any prints. She's wearing gloves.
Identify the defendant's fingerprints on the luminous tape.
Because that tape would have been for her to know where to go.
You what? You actually had proof?
We don't have Trucy's gloves as evidence. Like her fingerprints being on it should make no sense. Well, defense, are you finally ready to let it all go and move on?
Absolutely not. Detective, please add the information about the prints to your tape to your testimony.
Do we have anything? Does this specify anything about Trucy's prints? Trucy wore gloves during the show, so none of the fingerprints were found. I think it's probably going to be this.
Yeah.
Because, like, she wouldn't have left any prints.
There would be no reason to ditch the gloves. Boom.
Objection!
There we go. I'm sorry, Detective Sky, but there's a flaw in your testimony. Oh, really?
Yeah, really? There is? Does that mean we can prove
Watch her be
Trucy
happy
innocent?
about it, you know? The prosecution is claiming that Miss Wright moved the understage tape during the show in order to guide the victim into the coffin downstage. But it doesn't make sense that she would leave prints on the tape at that time. It doesn't. Please consider the fingerprint results of the main coffin, which shows that none of my client's fingerprints were found on or in it. That's true, we didn't find any prints on that coffin. I think if you realize what the flaw in your testimony is. Claiming Miss Wright left prints on the tape during the show is inconsistent with the facts. Because she was wearing gloves during the show. Oh. She must have left the prints sometime before the show started. In other words, her prints do not prove she moved the tape to mislead the victim. The prosecution's investigation was insufficient. Oh my! But on a personal level, I'm very happy about that.
Okay, this Apollo theme is better than Dual Destinies. At least it's a little bit more upbeat. But the first one is still the best one.
Well, Prosecutor said, Matty, if the defense's argument is true, then you have no evidence the defendant moved the tape to deceive the victim.
I see. Apparently the defense is more intelligent than I had thought. More than a stink bug at any rate.
Are we getting upgraded? Come on, you can bump me up to at least a stag beetle now, can't you? Would that really be any better? I mean, it would. Of course, way better. Stag beetles are cool with those huge mandibles of theirs.
Chakra! If the defense wishes to be promoted to a stag beetle, then answer me this question.
Alright, shoot.
Even with
That's a bad premise already.
Even with no evidence that the accused moved the tape to misguide the victim. The victim still climbed the ladder using the tape as a guide. And entered the coffin on stage. That, you cannot back up. You cannot prove that he was intended to go up the ladder with the tape on it. Like, that tape could have easily been there for Trucy's guide, not his. I love this face on Bonnie over here.
Good acting.
The accused then thrust his sword into said coffin with the victim in it. Can we bring this up? How, like, there's no he could have been stabbed in the back here? Can we bring that up, please?
So what you're saying is the fact remains the victim was stabbed to death, right?
Precisely. However, this does drastically change one aspect of the case. The accused did not lead the victim into the coffin on purpose. Then it means the victim's death could have been accidental. At least he's admitting this. At least he's admitting this, which is like, okay, if the defendant didn't purposely do this, this could be an accident. If it was indeed an accident, the defense can argue that it was involuntary manslaughter.
Still, though.
He's still going to try to get us to admit that Trucy's a killer.
I see. If it was involuntary manslaughter, oh, sorry. If it was involuntary manslaughter, they could have pleaded extenuating circumstances, and the severity of the crime could be mitigated.
Defense: if you believe the accused did not murder the victim, then do you argue that it was an accident? Nope. Nope. It was murder for sure, because Trucy didn't stab him.
This is it, the all-important question. The defense argues that Mr. Reyes' death was murder.
It's murder.
The defense maintains that the defendant is entirely innocent. We believe that it wasn't an accident, but murder. And what's more, we believe it was committed by a third party. A third party? And the true culprit is someone else?
That is quite a brazen claim to make, and a holy one, wholly without grounds. Your voice is as loud as your suit, and your mind echoes as loudly in an emptiness. Surely you were but a loud red pepper in your previous life.
And I've been demoted to a vegetable. Wow, I didn't know a person could be reincarnated as a non-sentient plant. In any case, I do have grounds to make this claim.
Let us hear this reasoning of yours, then.
Alright, but before I give it, there is one question that we need to address. If the victim was killed by some third party, then the sword of the defendant thrust into the coffin wasn't the cause of death. If that's the case, then how did we wind up with a dead body inside the coffin? A very good question. Now let's hear your opinion, Mr. Justice. How did the victim's body wind up inside the coffin?
He was killed under stage. He had, like, it's not
I
magic.
don't believe it.
He wasn't killed in the coffin. I don't think that's even possible in this scenario. So it has to be the bottom one. Like, if you even saying he was killed above the stage, that still gets rid of him being killed in the coffin and it being magic.
What if the victim was killed under the stage before being put into the coffin? In other words, what if the victim was already dead in the coffin from the get-go? Oh, I see. In that case, the defendant's sword would have been the cause of death. How do you respond, Prosecutor said, Marty?
That is the third time.
The third time or what? Well, what the heck is this?
Satorai Maomandomo Samashi de Tashi no Ketare Gaseo Sonoka!
My head!
This is assault!
What do you think you're doing?
Even the merciful Holy Mother loses patience if she is struck 3 times. Since you never learn, you need to be punished.
Why don't you let me worry about what I need to and need and don't need?
It is what you deserve for interfering with my sacred last rites for the victim. This is not your country. Your rules don't matter. You are a brainless lawyer chasing phantoms. You know nothing. Yeah, it is this one. Let this humble servant of the Holy Mother give you an edifying sermon.
Edifying?
Edifying.
Or edifying?
Edifying.
A sermon now?
There is a passage in the sacred sculptures of Korinism. A cornered frog will swallow even a snake.
Huh. A cornered lawyer has unexpectedly struck back hard against the prosecution. Did I get it right?
No, for I am not done with my sermon. And yet, the frog still dies. Its belly is bitten and torn from within.
Just great.
In any case, you are that frog, defense.
What exactly is your point anyway?
Let us assume for a moment that the victim was killed on the stage. Who, then, had the opportunity to do so during the show? He's not listening, is he? He's not listening.
Let's see, the people in the show were...
Like, so who had the opportunity? We already said it's a third party. We don't know who it is. This guy does not listen. Bonnie de Femme. The victim, Mr. Rios, in Trilogy Right. Bonnie de Femme was on stage throughout the entire show, as easily confirmed by the footage from the show. Which leaves us with only one suspect, Trilogy Right. Now do you see? The accused killed Mr. Rios as he waited on standby in the understage passage, and then placed his dead body in a coffin above, thus making a murder look like an accident. O great and merciful Holy Mother. Thus, another putrid mind has been guided toward enlightenment.
Can't believe I swallowed his trick question whole. Sorry, but I have to raise an objection here. Athena, what are you? There's something I want to point out, Apollo.
And who might you be? You strike me as a mere child in countenance.
I may be young, but I have an attorney's badge just the same.
And you would contribute to this discussion in that capacity?
I most certainly would. What? How? You just argued that the defendant killed the victim under the stage.
So she's just using that to pull up the information. She's done that before.
Yeah. But let me remind you that Miss Wright is a girl.
Clearly. Surely you didn't raise an objection simply to point out such an obvious fact. Your Honor, please send this little child's guardian to come take her home. About that, Nuyuta,
Hidden sexism?
she is, orphan, technically, because both her parents are dead, and, she's 19, so she's an adult, so she's not a child. Do we know how old he is?
19, wasn't she?
He, 25. Man, he's only 25, and he's calling her a child. He looks...
Logic from the country.
He does not look 25, though. He looks much older than 25.
Hold it!
But I'm not done with my sermon. You don't need to talk like Prosecutor Sadmata, you know. Listen, if the victim was killed in the underside passage, then his body would have to be hauled up to the stage, right? However, Miss Wright is a young girl, and a pretty petite one at that. She couldn't possibly have hefted that large body up and put it into the coffin. True, it doesn't seem like it would be a rather difficult task for the defendant. I don't think even I could do it. What do you think of that, Prosecutor? Who's a child now?
In my religion, the priestess of Kurainism are revered as the pillars of our beliefs. So I naturally hold nothing but deep respect for women. But you're about to dunk on her, aren't you?
Because the lips are there.
I also think highly of the female perspective.
Says the man who called this fair maiden a little child.
That too.
Who's a fair maiden?
I agree that your point is worth discussing, defense. How, indeed, did the dead body raised up into the coffin? By the accused, Trucy Wright, that is.
You're committed to pointing the finger at her no matter what, huh? And you explain how that even be possible.
Exactly, Isina, exactly. He needs to prove how it got in there. We're calling it like, hey, it makes no sense for her to have gotten in there. How do you respond, counsel? But of course.
Oh, there's a butterfly.
There was a way for even a small creature like her to raise the victim's body up. Is he gonna say the lifts?
Lift.
But they're too heavy. And they're not really operatable by one. Do we have a piece of evidence that mentions that? We do. We have them.
We have her moving the entire lift on wheels, but we don't have her. Yeah.
We have her statement about him. I foresaw that our arguments would come to this, so I prepared a witness.
Well, well, I'm at your readiness, Prosecutor.
Is it really not that difficult when one can read the ultimate outcome of the trial?
He couldn't really have predicted that things would turn out like this. Could he? Pretty hard to believe. Excuse me, but may I step down now? Yes, I suppose you may.
One moment, Detective Sky.
I'm sorry for, the way I handled all of this.
You did a fine job, Detective. Your testimony was invaluable.
It was?
Yes, you stood well as a detective, and did not allow your personal feelings to interfere. You overcame that conflicted emotions you felt and performed your duty admirably. You will be rewarded for your fine work.
Oh. Thank you.
I hope we can work together again in the future.
Emma seems bewildered by the unexpected praise. Shoutouts to Senra. I guess he's a pretty nice person, they say, as long as you're not up against him. Now then, let us call the next witness. Oh, here she is, in all her splendor and glory.
I think your mic is crackling a little.
Here, let me check.
Witness, please state your name and occupation. Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the court. It's very nice to meet you all. I am the Lagomorphine illusionist from the land of fairy tales, Bonnie de Femme. I can't wait to do some magic tricks for all of you. Please, witnesses, there is a time and place for all things, including magic. But would it be okay if I do just a little magic, right? Come on, please. Look, everybody's waiting. Now's my chance to shine. Sakura! That is your second time. My second time doing what? There will be no further warnings. You should know that from our preparatory meeting, correct?
Is no one exempt from His Holiness's rosary of suffering? May we have your testimony, witness, once you recovered from your disappointment?
Well, as a huge fan of Trucy's, I don't really want to testify against her. But I guess I have to, don't I?
As a huge fan of Trucy's, huh? You're a real fan, right? Of course. Of destroying Trucy, you mean?
I really can't believe that Trucy killed Mr. Rios. I guess it's possible for a small girl to lift a dead body if she uses a stage lift. Nope. Is it possible? Could Trucy really have? If Trucy did use stage lift, I think she must have used stage lift number 2.
Impossible.
I was on stage the entire show, by the way. So
What? So we can go two directions with this. We can prove she was not on stage the whole time, or we could prove that.
Well, at this point in time, we haven't discussed twin theory, so I think we gotta present the Trucy's statement on that. I think that's where what this is gonna want here.
You were on stage the whole time, and you're sure about that?
There is no question. The entire audience could testify to that fact. What's more, it's shown clearly in the TV footage as well. I couldn't possibly have killed Mr. Rios. Not little old me. Okay, maybe she is. Both of them are involved.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, the person who could have killed the victim under stage, is the accused. Furthermore, by using the stage lift, even a petite young lady could have raised the body to the stage without difficulty. Not quite, because you gotta have a way to lift the platform first, and then she has to be able to lift up the body into that hole. And all doing this in like the short amount of time she was out of view.
You've got to be kidding me. Very well, the defense may now cross-examine the witness.
Hold it!
You said you're a huge fan of Trucy's, isn't that right?
Oh, yes. I even became a magician because I wanted to be just like her. First time I saw her, she was performing at Wonder Bar. I was only in junior high back then, but she got up on stage with tons of confidence. Then she proceeded to win my heart with her astonishing tricks and winning smile.
She certainly sounds like she means all of that. So finally being able to perform with her like that must have been quite a treat for you, right?
I wonder if some point in the trial they're going to switch, and she's going to make this statement, and then our bracelet's going to react.
Yeah.
I feel like that's how we might end up figuring out there's twins. It's like, no, you said this earlier and there was not a problem, but now all of a sudden there is. You're a different person. Oh yes, after all, it was my chance to have her see me. Not just as a fan, but as a fellow magician.
Hey.
But then that horrible accident happened. It was not an accident. It was murder. Witness, please explain if you would. How a small young woman like such as Trucy could have raised the body.
Hold it!
What makes you think it would be possible? It's not like you tried it out yourself, right?
Well... Actually, we did try it out ourselves.
You did?
Detective Sky, if you would.
Oh! So that's why you made me do that. Detective Sky, what did he have you do? The prosecutor asked me to try raising one of the male police officers with the stage lift. Without a single word of explanation as to why he was making me do it. You're kidding. It's as if he really can foresee all of our counter-arguments.
Do not underestimate this humble servant of the Holy Mother.
More like haughty.
I guess that means Trucy could have lifted the dead body up. Does that mean... I'll skip that one for now.
Yep.
Hold it!
I'm gonna get to this one.
Stage lift number 2. You mean the stage lift shown here on the left?
That's right. With a stage lift. I think even a small girl like her could easily lift a dead body up to the stage.
And so that makes her the murderer, in your opinion.
Of course not. I believe in Trucy. Like I said, I'm a huge fan of hers.
Oh, brother, how long is she going to keep this act up?
Defense. What position was stage lift 2 in after the show?
Let's see. If I recall, it was in the fully raised position. Oh. Ah.
That's it. He's like, hey, it was already fully raised. And the reason why it was fully raised is because the accused used it to lift the victim's body. Wouldn't you agree? Why wouldn't she just lower it again?
Time, I guess.
Okay, so this is probably going to add a new statement, and then we can object with Trucy's statement.
Yep.
Feel free to slowly mull over it while you roast over the flames of hell, you evil red pepper.
So now I'm also evil.
No?
Hold it!
You didn't have a single spare moment to slip down to the understage passage.
Huh? Don't tell me you suspect me now.
I'm just trying to do my job by fully examining your alibi. Depending on how solid it is, I might have to suspect you, yes. told you.
You gotta be kidding me. Don't spit on my head and tell me it's raining, lawyer boy.
The twins theory is going downhill very fast.
Oh, no. I'm right here. I'm right there in the footage. Were you too much of an idiot to see?
Huh? Mr. Fan! Are you feeling alright? You suddenly seem totally different.
Oh, oops. Where did that come from, right? Oh my, I think
I
I was
love
out
it,
there
babe.
for a second, didn't I?
It's so funny. Snap, your real character.
In any case, I was on stage the whole time. Performance magic. I mean, you saw me in the footage, right? My dazzling, flawless performance. Was
What do
she
you
on
see?
the middle one? Bonnie's teleportation trick.
Oh, yeah. So she could have.
I mean, you saw me in the footage, right? My dazzling, flawless performance.
Flawless. That's odd, considering what you told me. You said that you made a mistake with where you positioned Mr. Hat. Mr. Pham, to what is the defense referring?
Well, I made a little mistake on the stage. I was in charge of operating Mr. Hat, you see. According to the script, I was supposed to place him on the left of the coffin. But I flipped it up and made him stand to the right of the coffin instead.
And because of that mistake, you have to move the stage list around.
I feel really bad about messing up messing Trucy up like that was my goof.